Greetings, folks, from a rainy North York. It is Thursday, April 16th, 2:31 p.m. is the time. The temperature is about 19 degrees Celsius. I'm just going to check to make sure I've got this stream up and running a-okay. It is Thursday. Well, looks okay to me. Sounds okay to me. Let me I know we're competing with the Blue Jays this afternoon, but I ended up being kind of a lazy boy yesterday. I didn't really get anything done, so I only had one video, which I didn't really want to post for today. And I've got plans this evening, so I find myself awkwardly streaming this afternoon. Oh, there's a police officer walking. He's coming right at me. I wonder if he's coming to get me for anything. But thank you, Vivian, Leo, Jillian, Scott, Nathan is here, Alicia, Jeanette, Picard is here, Walks Lyrics and more, Tail Morgan. Thank you guys for tuning in. I am using the pocket camera, which is going to be a little awkward because both of my hands are going to be pretty occupied. Let me get this thing. And my phone sorted. There we go. Medano is here. 78 coffee cups. Hell of a tough sucker. This is my first time ever streaming with this setup in bad weather. Hopefully we don't have much in the way of hiccups and that sort of thing. When I left my apartment, it was not raining. So I was kind of hopeful that it would hold off a little bit, but nope, here we are. The Transit Mobile scooters here, Marge. So I'm gonna head over to Yonge Street. Got the umbrella in one hand, holding my phone and my camera in the other hand. I should have just streamed with the iPhone on the gimbal, but oh well. This will have to do. I'm gonna cross at the lights here, then we'll head down to Yonge. I was busy working on a project all day yesterday, one that tied me up for much of the day. No, it was not YouTube related. And then when I went out to make a video, I went to Eglinton and I waited at line 5 for like 10 minutes and no eastbound LRV rolled in. And then the sign still said next one coming in 10 minutes and the platform was getting really crowded. So I said, screw this. And I made an impromptu video. That's all I had to show for my day yesterday. Oh, look at this lady's umbrella. That thing has seen better days. If there's one thing you cannot cheap out on, it's your umbrella. If you want to use it more than once or twice, you spend less than 10 bucks on an umbrella. I'll show you an umbrella that's not gonna last you. There's some construction going up. Marge says very sad looking. But it's about 18 degrees Celsius, so it's not so bad. For more than a century, the Golden Lion Hotel was a Yonge Street landmark in Lansing. Well, that is Shepherd Avenue. That'll take you through Lansing in that direction over to Shepherd West Station. Funny, they renamed Downsview to Shepherd West. And they call Finch West, even though it's on the Finch West line, but they had to rename Eglinton West because that would be confusing for some reason. Confusing to who exactly, I don't know. But this is heading north up Yonge Street in an area known as Willowdale. An area I've streamed many a time before. Vehicles pulling Uis. I'm about to pass by your tattoo shop. Which side of the street? And you say that like your tattoo shop or the tattoo shop you go to? That's the Shepherd Center across the street. It used to be home to a Cineplex theater, but when Cineplex and Famous Players merged, they shut that one down and kept the one just north of here at Empress Walk. Is that it? Nocturne Tattoo Studio? Behind me is the shop. Transit mobile scooter, $2. Thank you, Darren. Thank you so much for the support and the super chat. It was a busy morning for me today because when you do what I do for a living, I kind of rely on this camera that I'm using. And the new model came out today. Well, it's not out till April 22nd, but it was available online for pre-order. So I got one ordered through Amazon as a backup. I'm probably going to cancel that. And I found a local shop in Toronto where I can go pick it up on April 22nd in the AM. So that's what I'm going to be doing, April 22nd, getting my brand new DJI Pocket 4 camera. And then in June, the Pocket 4 Pro will be coming out. So I'll be getting that and possibly the Insta Luna. Are you using the DJI Pocket 3? Yes. I should be using the iPhone for this, but I just like streaming with this thing, even though the quality It can't do 4K 60. It's just so much nicer to stream with. I've got the Pocket 4 on pre-order. And I'll be able to relegate my Pocket 3 cameras to bad weather duty. Whenever I get a new camera, the old ones get earmarked for shitty weather where they might get wet or get snowed on. Lisa is here. Good day. Welcome to the rain. $9.95 shawarma on the rice. That's a really weird way to say it. On the rice? The rice? Why not just shawarma on rice? It's like saying on the rocks. How do you take your shawarma? Oh, get the hell off the sidewalk, buddy. I take it on the rice. There's a guy on Instagram. Well, he's more than that. Dave, the biking lawyer. Who I agree with at 90% of what he says, but too often I find he comes to the defense of people like that jackass riding their e-bike on the sidewalk. No, that does not belong on here. So the plan for this one is to just walk north for a while. Posted a bike courier education thing earlier. You scrolled past it quickly. I'll have to see what that is. I mean, the police definitely are a bit heavy-handed towards cyclists versus their very relaxed attitude towards drivers in the city, and that, I think the biking lawyer is spot on. Oh, speaking of police, there's a couple going to where else but into Timmy's. That's not stereotypical at all. But I'm of the opinion that safety is safety. The rules should apply equally to everyone. No one group should be targeted. So you don't get a free pass if you're riding your bike like an idiot. But you definitely don't get one if you're riding or driving your car like one. Isn't Yonge Street the longest street in the world? No, that's a myth that has been busted many a times over. You'll still hear people refer it to as the longest street in the world. There's a Keg Steakhouse. holding up. Thank you again, Darren, for the super chat. Good to see you, sir. Friendly reminder to hit that like button and subscribe if you want. If you want to be notified when I go live, you need to hit that bell, which is usually 3 or 4 times a week. And most Sunday nights on the other channel. There's a link to that in the description. There's the Toronto District School Board Education Center. Apparently they are laying off a ton of teachers for next year. And I think we can thank Dougie for that. It's not like class sizes are getting too small. Hey, Mike Landry. Hi, Johnny, and everyone. Thank you, Mike Landry. Welcome to a rainy-ass day in North York. Back when North York was its own city, that was City Hall. The last ever mayor of North York and the first ever mayor of the megacity of Toronto was Mel Lastman. He passed away not too long ago. He defeated Barbara Hall, who I was rooting for after amalgamation. There's a Starbucks. And there's Empress Walk, which is getting a new T&T supermarket. T&T. Replacing the Loblaws that was in there. There's a Dollarama, a Wendy's. There's one of those claw machine arcades. A Chinese restaurant called the Petit Potato. And where the camera is pointing, at one point there was a Best Buy. Utterly says Barbara Hall ruined the rave scene in Toronto. Well, what she wouldn't have ruined was the Eglinton West subway line. Mike Harris, our premier at the time, was on a project killing spree. And he was only going to partially fund either the Shepherd line or the Eglinton West line, which was already under construction. But because Mel Lastman wanted to do something for the people of North York, we ended up with the utterly stupid, partially built Shepherd line, when Eglinton could have had a subway, one that probably would have been extended by now. That Loblaws was epically large. I don't think it was that big, but it had a really, really cool view. You could walk in at street level and look down into the produce area. Oh, it is coming down properly now. One of my complaints with this neighborhood, aside from this horrible job by the utility company, is zero attempt to restore the sidewalk there. It's just how damn far street crossings are. Look how far away the next lights are. So if you want to cross Yonge Street, you are playing Frogger with your life or going very, very far out of your way. That's something the city is going to be rectifying. The plan is to build protected bike lanes and give this part of Yonge Street a bit of a diet. And just make it more pedestrian and non-driver friendly. That Coors Light is looking pretty good. Shepherd subway needs to be extended a lot further east and west. That's an understatement. It should have been built well into Scarborough the first go around, or not built at all. There's also Transit City, which was planned out for the East End, that was killed in 2010. The final nail in the coffin was Rob Ford. Bubble tea cafe, spicy hot pot, Vietnamese soup, Korean barbecue. All the good restaurants are over there. Over here, kind of generic new condo retail. Hey, look at that. Canto by Tita Flips. Elevated Filipino street food. What's a food hall? I didn't get much of a look in it. I've got my umbrella open. Someone says, welcome to North York. Bro, I'm in your area. You're at Yonge and Steeles. Oh, that's more like Thornhill and Newtonbrook. This is Willowdale, but I guess it's kind of close. Someone's gonna get splashed. Some dirty puddle water. It must be healthier than Jollibee. That's not a very high bar. Greetings, Derek Chow, and thanks to our moderators. I see Medano here, Marge, Vivian. And one of you awesome viewers, do me a favor and give me an update on the Blue Jays score. Normally I've just looked that up, but my hands are kind of full. Crushing loss last night. They had it. until they didn't. They coughed it up in the bottom of 8. One. It was 1-0. When I started the stream, thanks for the info. Oh, this plaza's coming down. There used to be one of those Aren't We Naughty stores here. To buy your lingerie. Hot pot, noodles, cha bar. Every single restaurant over there is Asian. At least on that block. But the Owl of Minerva should be coming up on the left here. Dakgogi. Chat bar.
Yeah.
Thanks for the updates, guys. Toy collection. Kim's table. A poke box. I'm getting hungry walking through here. St. Louis, Midori Ramen. Hot pot. Yakiniku. Barbecue hot pot sushi. It's one of the best things about visiting Japan, having that. Handmade dim sum, tea and coffee house. What's my favorite Asian food? I was in Seoul a few months ago, and my friends took me to a very high-end Hanu beef gogi restaurant in Gangnam, and it was quite excellent. But if I could only pick one, it would probably be cheese duck galbi. Camera's starting to get a little bit wet. Let me know if the lens gets a little too much rain on it, and I'll pull over and wipe it off. Hey, Lorraine McLean is here. Luna Bakery. I don't think they have cheese duck galbi in Toronto. Yes, there's a place called Hankook. Right near Bathurst and Bloor, just a few blocks west of there, that has cheese duck galbi. There used to be a place on Yonge Street, and there was a chain called June's. There was one at Yonge and Shepherd, and actually where Hankook is now used to be a June's. They were very well known for their duck galbi. But yeah, it's not a very common dish. Greetings, Carl Rock. Fried skewers. I've made this commentary before, but the If you're gonna knock down old fine grain retail and replace it with generic condo retail, this is the way to do it. Lots of small storefronts. Look at that across the street. And with that, whoops, I thought I was on Zoom. You attract a lot more smaller and independent retailers, and it really adds a lot of flavor and character to a neighborhood. All too often, new condos are built with these giant retail units meant to attract large tenants that are going to lead to less turnover and easier management, but it is much to the detriment of the surrounding neighborhood. I really wish city council approving buildings like that. Martin Van Own, Toronto. I saw Diana Krall last night at Massey Hall. Martin Van Own. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for the $20. Cheers to you. I'd be lying if I said I knew a whole lot about Diana Krall. I actually have not been to Massey Hall post renovations. Thank you, Martin. Lisa says it's hard to find a bad seat at Massey. I watched a neat video from three guys, I think from Pennsylvania, who drove down and spent a day at the Sky Dome. They stayed at the hotel. They got to check out one of the special Rawlings suites. They watched a game, they ate there, every meal there, and then they drove home. Kind of wished they were going to do something else in the city, but it's still a very neat watch. Now almost close to Finch. Yep, we're a few blocks south of Finch. And the rain is letting up. It's almost put your umbrella away. There's the southbound 97. Haeogum Korean restaurants. Masato Sushi. I'm missing all that. I'm gonna wipe my camera off, it is soaked. And my phone for that matter. Whenever it gets wet, crazy things happen. I end up demodding people and turning other people into mods and banning people. Normally, if I did a walk like this, I would try to find something I need from Canada Computers and pick it up when I get to Yonge and Steeles, but they've got a location at Yonge and Dundas now. In the old pickle barrel. Pear tree. Greetings, Howard Charco. Thank you again for that gift a few weeks ago. Spa, Korean premium luxury cosmetics. And gas is $1.79. It's crazy how gas prices have come down a little bit. Markets are booming, yet last I checked, there was no resolve in the Middle East. The big shoppers. Claw me, baby. Oh, I think this place went out of business. Someone opened up a claw machine arcade here. And they are not picking up their packages. Probably eviction notices. Put the umbrella temporarily away. And this is Yonge and Finch. And again, look how far it is to the next crossing. Jillian Scott. Good luck with staying dry off to work. I wish I could catch more of the stream. Well, I wish you could too. Thank you, Jillian Scott. Thank you very much. Enjoy working. There's the Diplomat Exchange. Currency and precious metals. There's definitely some regions in the world where you do your currency exchanges in cash, because there are an unusual amount of currency exchanges in this area. Hope I can walk in Willowdale. Well, I'm just about to step foot out of Willowdale. And outside of Yonge Street, there's not a whole lot to it that's all that interesting in Willowdale. Everything is very centered around the Yonge Street corridor. There's another currency exchange. Hey, hell of a tough sucker. Thanks for this trek through my old hood, Johnny. Barely recognize this from 2000 when you live nearby, except that the subway still ends at Finch. Well, it's ended here for quite a while. When was that? Since 1980? But thank you, hell of a tough sucker, for the 5 European bucks. Cheers to you. a noisy ass bus. I mentioned it before, but once upon a time I worked in this building complex. It was called the North American Center. I don't know if it's still called that, but I worked in that building in like 2006 to 2007. And that was the job that got me to get rid of my car. I lived in the St. Lawrence neighborhood, and I was working in Etobicoke at the West Mall. So I would drive to work because transit was a nightmare getting there. And I found a new job here, and it made absolutely no sense to drive here. And I could just walk to King Station and take line 1 straight to work. I put my car on lease busters, and it went right away. I had like 2 years left on the lease. It was a $35,000 car, but my lease payment was $260 a month. I was paying like $100 less than other people were with lesser equipped versions of the same car. I kind of pulled a fast one on the dealer to get it that way. I went to one dealer, test drove it, got a quote, went to another dealer, told him the first dealer's quote. They beat it, went to another dealer who beat it. And on top of that, they were running a year-end closeout sale. They were trying to unload their inventory because I knew buying in December was the best month to do it. And then after all of that, I pulled out like a $5,000 General Motors student discount that I did not tell them about until we had negotiated a really low price. And then I got another $5,000 off of that. And I ended up with a stupidly cheap lease payment. I put it on Lease Busters and I got like 100 replies within the day from people wanting it. The one dude lived near me. He said he already had credit approval from General Motors. And he sent me proof of that, which means the only hurdle would be he needs to get proof of insurance. So he came, whoa, I just got splashed. He came over, looked at the car. It was very low miles and perfect condition, so he took it. And we met at a car dealership just north of here, actually, to do the handoff. And ever since then, I've just been renting and borrowing cars. Johnny Kipling Station misses me. That's sweet of Kipling Station. Jennifer Gala, did I order the Pocket 4? I talked about that at the top of the stream. But yeah, the Pocket 4 was made available today for pre-order. I didn't want the creator package. There's nothing in there worth having. But I ordered 2 Pocket 4s. Right off the bat, I ordered one from Amazon. But then I found a local shop in Toronto, not a big retailer, but just a little guy who had them for pre-order, and I'd be able to pick it up on the 22nd when it's released. So I placed my pre-order with that shop, and I chatted with them actually. They had a little chat box on their website. And they're like, yeah, it'll be available the 22nd in the morning. Come pick it up. I was like, sweet. So maybe I'll buy the Pocket 4 Pro from them. Liam, bye Johnny. Got to go to work. Just for you to have a drink or snack. very kind of you, Liam. Thank you so much for the fiver. Hope you enjoy going to work. Cheers to you. It was good to see you the other day. Check out Big Al's Aquarium at Yonge and Steeles. If I'm not mistaken, that is a few blocks west. I used to go to the Big Al's near the Chinatown Center in Mississauga, and they also have one in Oakville near Lakeshore. Oh, there's another one just north of here. Good old Big Al's as we head through Newton Brook. Oh, it's starting to rain again. What would they say in the UK? Blimey? Juggling my camera here for a sec. Greetings, Brandon. And thank you to all 400 or so of you for tuning in. It is much appreciated. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell to be notified when I go live next. Bit of a no man's land dead zone for the next few blocks. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be making it over there on Steeles, but I promise I'll head out that way on a future stream. Whoa! There's a monster puddle up ahead. Note to self, stay far away from that. I don't know if you guys can see that. That is... Oh, this bus is gonna hit it. Watch this. That wasn't slowing down to make that stop. That would have been a monster splash. It was a splash. It was a monster splash. Look at that. Big H-Mart supermarket coming in on the right, but what was the city thinking when they approved this development? Look at this streetscaping. Just a giant gray sidewalk, no shade, nowhere to sit, no greenery, no plants, no trees. It's going to be absolutely brutal in the sun. Thumbs down to whoever voted thumbs up on this. M2M condos. That's where Canada Computers used to be on the right. There was a Food Basics in there, a Kanji Queen, a Bolorama. What I'll do in the spring on a nice day is I'll start one up near Yonge and Steeles. And I'll stream north up into Richmond Hill. I've done that before. I think this weather is kind of gloomy. Or do I like it? Can I say both? It's nice to have this every once in a while. Bit of a reset. That's true, Davy Bear. This is the first year I didn't go to the Caribbean in a very long time in the winter. Bolorama, a comic shop. Play It Against Sports. I remember that Play It Against Sports. JoJo's Hot Pot Chicken. Good afternoon on this rainy day from Good Afternoon 123. Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for the support. Arigato. Thank you. You might recall about 3 years ago there was a trend of a lot of people on YouTube creating 24/7 loops of their live streams. And some walktubers got in on that. We really kind of have the perfect content for that. And I bought a little computer to do that, a little miniature office PC that was strong enough to drive a looping 4K stream. Well, yesterday I converted that machine. I installed a custom Linux distribution on it and turned it into a retro gaming machine. So now when you turn it on, and I'm just going to leave it on, pick up your controller and you have access to pretty much whatever game you want to play, all the way up. Well, I only have up to the Dreamcast era on it, but it's pretty sick. I was playing some Metal Slug yesterday. Metal Slug 2 on the Neo Geo, to be specific. And I also had the bird-brained idea to turn my old PC that I used to edit on into the same thing. Oh, it's getting windy. And that way I could play like Dreamcast games in upscaled 4K. So I did that as well. And that may or may not be why I didn't go live yesterday or really get anything done. Ferris Q, member for 15 months. Hello, how's your day, Johnny and chat? was good, except for the part where I procrastinated long enough that by the time I came out, it started pouring rain. We had no rain until about 2 p.m. And I was thinking, even Ken messaged me saying, hey, are you going to go stream before the rain? And I was like, I hope so. Well, by the time my lazy ass got outside, look what's happening. But thank you, Ferris Q, for the member of 15 months. Lisa calls me a nerd. What's a bigger compliment? Being called a nerd or a geek? I think words like that are one part compliment, one part insult. Oh, we are battling it now. This wind is fierce. Look at my umbrella. Oh my. My equipment is getting soaked. This is not what you want. Yikes. A little reprieve with the wind at my back. Hey Johnny, go to this York University event in Pickering. Why would I do that? Seems like a silly thing for me to go to. Lucy says, remember this the next time I'm procrastinating. Brewers up 2-1 in the 7th. Oh, boo to that. Thanks for the update. Uh-oh. I'm gonna pop into here for a sec. Because my phone has just started pressing buttons all on its own. Message pinned. I don't want to pin that. Swipe the camera off. Dance, umbrella, dance. Oh no. That has been a casualty. You got to be careful with those. You could poke someone's eye out. Or your own. Johnny, can you walk past the Papa pastry? At this point, I just want to get my ass to a TTC bus. I mentioned the 10 million currency exchange places in this area. They're all in that plaza. Well, a lot of them. YouTuber, can you dance? Sure, let me jump up and click my heels together. Altina kebab. least all those gusts of wind have died down. Alright, I'm getting sprayed here. Why did that lady choose that moment to step on the gas? That's a good spring rain. Give all the trees and lawns out there a good soak. That car is just driving along, spraying everybody. Do not enter. Aye, aye. I will obey. That guy is going the wrong way. Do not walk towards traffic when going around a giant puddle. This live stream's so wet right now. I'll tell you what's so wet, my socks. Someone saying good afternoon from Trinidad. Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. Hey asshole, haven't you ever heard of these things called turn signals? Seriously, who drives like that? Like, we all know you're turning, but... Man, if I was a cop, I would be super fucking petty and just pulling people over left and right for that nonsense. I would take great pleasure in doing that. Jen says people don't know how to drive in Canada. Sadly, it's a worldwide phenomenon. It's almost as if humans weren't meant to pilot 2,000 metal pound boxes. Well, 80 to 90% of them can. But there's an alarming amount of people who can't. That's why Olivia Chow is opposed to Waymo coming to Toronto, but I say bring it on. There's no way the robots are any more dangerous or worse than humans. Humans get hit every day and maimed and killed every day, and it doesn't make the news. Yet if there's a single robot taxi accident, all of a sudden they're the worst thing ever. Stop the presses. Look at that asshole. There's no way the stats aren't going to favor autonomous vehicles over human-controlled vehicles. This is Athabasca. Oh. Nice, a matte finish Corvette. That's a very sick-looking vehicle. You never thought I would swear? Oh. Speaketh the way I do in real life on this stream. Every once in a while there's some moron who's offended by me swearing. It's not the Disney Channel. Lisa says, the thing is humans made that technology, deeply flawed humans, so you have reservations. I say the proof is in the pudding. The stats aren't going to lie if they're problematic and worse than humans. Sure, they're not ready for it, but I have a feeling they're already significantly better and less accident prone than people. Apgujeong restaurant. You don't see the Canada Computers here. It's on the other side. I'll be heading up to Steeles. But there's where Hudson's Bay used to be. And the future of that mall was in limbo. There's a master planned community for it, but I think those plans have been shelved, at least for the time being. So I think any big tenants are probably very hesitant to occupy the space of that former Hudson's Bay. Knowing that they might not have that long of a window to actually operate. There's a Starbucks. Well, thanks for the compliment. In terms of swearing, there's people that say, well, kids watch. Yeah, and those same kids watch a ton of movies and television where there's much worse language. There's Canada Computers. And an ill-fated Target location, one that was very short-lived. Vivian, gotta go. I made a mess. You threw your glass of water on the floor. Oh no, Vivian! Thank you for being here. Well, at least it's water and not something that's staining. Oh hey, last time I was here, this plaza was open. Now look at it. It was a rainy day in Pizzaville indeed. So just north of Steeles Avenue is an area called Thornhill. On the east side of the street is the city of Markham. On the west side is the city of Vaughan. Hypothetically, I could go walk through two different cities in the span of a few minutes. People think Thornhill is a city. No, it's just an area. I used to take the Steeles bus from Dufferin and Steeles over to Finch Station. Not saying I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore, but I'm not saying that. Thank you for not mowing me over. All right, so I'm gonna hop. If it's a packed bus, I'll just be quiet. If it's a really packed bus, I'm not going to stream on it, but if it's not, then, well, either way, I'm going to see if I can stream on it. We're just going to ride the bus south down to Finch. Oh no. I gotta get my credit card out. 1 sec.
Next stop, Finch Subway Station. This is an express vehicle.
We are on. It is very quiet. Yeah, we're just gonna head to Finch and then I'll wrap this up and I'm gonna debate recording a video walking down to Shepherd or if I just want to go home. I've got somewhere to be at 6, but I think I might have time to go home and shower. Martin says, so every bus has tap? Yep. But my phone was screwed up. I couldn't use my Samsung case. So when I got on, I put the camera down and I grabbed my wallet. And I did it the old-fashioned way with the X. Look at that puddle. Yes, we indeed, Jeanette. But I'm afraid my umbrella has been banished to the realm of the disgusting. It looks like a soggy bat umbrella. We're pulling into the Finch bus terminal. Icy Remy, welcome to Silver Tier. Thank you so much, Icy Remy, all the way from Bangkok, Thailand. Greetings to Toronto. On the awkwardly quiet bus where absolutely nobody is talking. Thank you again, Icy Remy. And we're at the Finch Station bus terminal. You hate people who are yelling in their cell phone on the bus? Yeah, making a lot of noise on transit is generally bad etiquette, but that one was completely silent. Making things nice and awkward for me. Actually, you know what? Let's head out over here.
Help keep the TTC safe. Report any suspicious activity to station staff.
Look how wet the floor is down here.
Police officer, if you see something, say something.
Oh, I'm an idiot. That was just back to the bus terminal. Just walking through Finch station here. There's a couple of Timmy's in here. There's one over there. Being a terminal station, there is a washroom, fortunately. Oh, that Timmy's smelled pretty good. Finch station has clean floors now. They're wet. Well, I guess you could say they're clean. Alright, I dodged a bullet. I'm sure they're friendly, but I want nothing to do with whatever they're talking about. It's just raining kind of lightly now. Canadian Vasili, Coca-Cola plus Crown Royal. I'd make that Coke Zero or Pepsi Zero. And maybe go a little nicer on the whiskey, but thank you for the $10, Vasili. Pretty much right at the buzzer. Thank you, Vasili. And speaking of thank you, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I'm going to decide if I'm going to make a video or just go home. I want to thank our mods, Patreon supporters, channel members, and everyone who tuned in. Friendly reminder to like, subscribe, hit that bell to be notified when I go live next. And I'll have a video on the channel tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. EST and then at 10 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday if all goes to plan. And it might go live tomorrow or Saturday. I don't really know. I don't have a schedule. I just kind of make it up as I go. So thank you to all 400 or so of you for this rainy ass Thursday afternoon. And as always, I will catch you guys on the next one. Yoink!